Dragon Ball Super Chapter 92. Today we're going to be focusing mainly on Piccolo. I've said it before in my review for the movie when it came out, and I'll say it again for the manga. I just absolutely love that we're finally getting some Piccolo time. Piccolo is a great character, and this was a great way to improve upon his character and make him relevant. Not that I'm trying to say anything bad about him, but you guys know what I mean. In terms of comparing the chapter to the movie itself, it's not too much different from the movie. Let me not waste any more time though, let's get into it. We left off with Gamma 2 trying to pick a fight with Piccolo. And in this chapter, as they're facing off, Piccolo notices a certain symbol on Gamma 2's arm, and that symbol is the Red Ribbon Army. Of course, that's because Gamma 2's creator is Dr. Hedo, and Dr. Hedo is currently working for the Red Ribbon Army. Piccolo states that he remembers the symbol from back when he was Kami. Yeah, remember Kami? Good times, right? Does anyone here actually miss Kami? Anyways, Gamma 2 overhears this and he's curious for Piccolo to tell him more about when he was Kami. But Piccolo's not about to waste his time and waste his breath giving this dude an answer. He's also quick to pick up that Gamma 2 is some kind of robot or android because he can't sense his ki. Can't sense your opponent's ki and they're from the Red Ribbon Army? Yeah, there's a pretty high chance they're an android. The two are both curious upon each other and they both have questions for each other, but they're about to just start fighting. And the way that the fighting begins, Gamma 2 seems to be holding his own pretty well against Piccolo to the point where Piccolo has to take off his weighted clothes so he can increase his speed and everything else. Also for the fact that Piccolo did land some blows on him, but he's not taking any damage. And that's just thanks to him being an android that he doesn't feel damage. It's go time. Piccolo rushes in, throws a bunch of punches with Gamma 2 dodging. Piccolo manages to hit him with a kick, when all of a sudden Gamma 2 pulls out the gat and shoots at Piccolo. He lands a good blast on Piccolo's arm and continues blasting Piccolo while Piccolo tries to raise his defense. And then Piccolo gets the edge by using his stretchy arm to get a hold of Gamma. However, as the battle is going on, Gamma 2 is learning more about Piccolo as he fights and gets the upper hand once more, eventually ending the fight with a big blast from his gun. Now, Gamma thinks that he's won the battle. All he sees is smoke in the area and just assumes that Piccolo is dead. And you just have to blame Hedo in the creation for Gamma in this situation. Gamma 2 is just really arrogant and cocky and doesn't even bother to check if Piccolo is even alive or not. He knows Piccolo has regeneration abilities. He knows a bit about Piccolo's history, and I'm sure he knows the other fighters' history. Yet he just flies back straight to his home base. The biggest mistake you can think of. Because of course Piccolo's in one piece and he sees Gamma 2 fly off. So naturally he's going to think, alright, let's see what this guy's up to. Let's see what this guy's objective is. And he tails Gamma 2 until he makes it to his base. Gamma 2 finally lands at his destination with Piccolo right behind him. Gamma 2 doesn't notice, and it's the Red Ribbon Army's base. This is where Dr. Hedo is, where Magenta is, where Cell Max is, like a whole bunch of important shit and a whole bunch of important people. Piccolo can't let it stop here just at the base. He needs to really see what's going on, so he enters the base, and the way he enters is he straight up blindsided a guard and took his outfit. I don't know about you guys, but I'm fucking with this outfit from Piccolo. When I saw it in the movie, I was like, okay, Piccolo, I see you. I see you, my boy. He's inside the base now, and he's still trying to tail Gamma. Although now he really has to play the part of soldier. It's time to blend in and act the part. Some soldiers approach him and almost ruin things for him, but he manages to turn it around by lying and making up some BS story about how the truth is he was hoping for a chance to stand guard in the inner chamber. The guards are chill and understandable. They don't put too much of a fight into this and they let him right in. Piccolo has now made it far enough to where he can actually listen to what the hell is going on. Because we got all the important figures in one room. Dr. Hedo, Magenta, both Gammas. And Gamma 1 lets number 2 know that he went overboard for just a trial. The way that these two talk to each other, you can tell that they're complete opposites. They definitely have their own personalities. While I said Gamma 2 was arrogant and cocky, Gamma 1 seems to be more careful and observant. Even making a fair point to Gamma 2 as he shows the surveillance of the battle between Gamma 2 and Piccolo. As the dust is clearing from when he shot that last blast against Piccolo, you can see a figure that quickly maneuvers out of the screen. Now, we as viewers definitely know Piccolo's okay. In fact, we could just be like, hey, Gammas, turn the hell around. And just look at the dude who's kind of green right now. Which, by the way, there was a line like that in the movie where they mentioned him looking green as a guard because he had the cover on his face so you couldn't see his entire face. And it's something small that I enjoyed seeing, and I was hoping that we'll see it in this chapter as well, since it's pretty much the same as the movie. But nah, they skip right over it. Anyways, Gamma 2 is still carefree, and he says if the secret does get out, we'll just take down the whole gang all at once. Obviously, speaking about the rest of the Z fighters, since the Red Ribbon Army has a bit of information about all these fighters. Clearly, not enough information though if they're trying to pick a fight with them, and are claiming that they can be threats to the planet. Shortly, they start throwing up the fighters one by one on the screen, and they start with Goku. Let me tell you guys, the disrespect in the way that they labeled Goku. They labeled Goku a mid-tier lieutenant. This is the same Goku that destroyed your whole base when he was just a kid by himself, and now he's an adult. Oh my god. They out here playing with his name. Along with Goku, they throw up Vegeta on the screen, Majin Buu, and Hercules. Or for some of you guys, Mr. Satan. Dr. Hedo tries to assure everybody that the Gammas are more than enough to take out the fighters. I mean, after all, Gamma 2 did just take out Piccolo. Or so they think. That's not what Magenta wants. He doesn't care about the Gammas. What he cares about is his creation of Cell Max. That's what the deal was when he originally came to Dr. Hedo. He wants the strongest android possible, and that's what Cell Max is supposed to be. Dr. Hedo is still trying to convince Magenta that the Gammas are enough. They don't need Cell Max right now. Cell Max is a monster that far outclasses the previous Cell in every way. Call me biased, but regardless of what they say about the power of Cell Max compared to the original Cell, you're not topping the original Cell. That guy was a gangster for real. Especially with the shit that he used to talk. It's part of the reason that I was a little bit let down of Cell Max when we saw him in the movie. Didn't say anything at all, and if he did, it was barely anything. Hedo goes on to explain to Magenta that there's no way to control him at the moment. Cell Max would destroy the very world you hope to rule over. So, in the meantime, just allow the Gammas to do their thing and dispose of people. And then when the time is right, he can activate Cell Max and reveal his huge plan to the world and show off the power that he controls. Now that Piccolo has heard all this, he sneaks out of the base and calls Bulma ASAP. And there's still something so funny and adorable at the same time that Piccolo uses a smartphone like this. Just look at the way that he holds it. You guys know the deal though. He's asking Bulma to get in contact with Whis since she has the transmission device to get in contact with them. And then tell Whis to tell Goku and Vegeta to get their asses back to Earth because the Earth needs some help. After hanging up the phone, it's time to prep. So he flies as fast as he can to get some sensu beans. Now at Korin's tower, he finally gets the beans, but Korin only has 2 beans to give him. That's all he has. You know, time and time again, we have crazy crisis in Dragon Ball. You would think Korin is always on his shit to planning a bunch of sensu beans just in case something arrives, like now. But I guess everyone is all relying with Goku and Vegeta now that they got God powers and God of Destruction on their side and okay, you know what? I get why they're not on their shit. I'd be chilling too if I'm allies with the God of Destruction and an angel. And then 2 strong-ass Saiyans that's training under them. Holy fuck. But then another thing, Bulma calls Piccolo back and she can't find the device to contact Whis. Isn't that just great? Piccolo asks her to keep looking for it as this could get rough without Goku and Vegeta. Then this next line that he says to Korin really gets me thinking. He says, based on my own battle, I'd say those Gammas are about on par with Goku and Vegeta. And I have to laugh because bullshit. Look, man, I don't care what the dialogue says in the manga right here. I know we're all doubting this line. There's just no way that Goku and Vegeta goes up against these guys and they're on the same battle level as them. No, that's not happening. Goku and Vegeta are wiping these guys. If anything, the Gammas are just sparring partners for Goku and Vegeta in their base forms. Korin then suggests the help from Gohan. We all know what Gohan is up to though nowadays in Dragon Ball. And Piccolo damn well realizes this too, so he says he's little used to us right now. Then he thinks about Android 17 and 18, but they're no good because the enemy probably knows about their exploits because they were creations from Dr. Gero originally and Dr. Hedo's his grandson. Majin Buu is napping, so all they have left is Piccolo. And this is why I respect Piccolo greatly. As dangerous as he knows the threat is, he's like, alright, I guess it's all up to me. I'm gonna have to handle this. At that moment, he thinks of a bright idea though, and says maybe Dende can give me what I need. Bulma finally finds what she needs to get in contact with Whis. Only problem is back on Beerus's world. There's a sparring session happening right now between Goku and Broly. And as you can imagine, the place is going through hell with them fighting. Whis' staff gets knocked down and it's out of his vision, out of his hearing. He doesn't notice it ringing. The last part of this chapter, Goku and Broly are fighting. Broly's doing a good job keeping up with Goku, and he's doing a good job not losing control and not raging into another state as we've seen beforehand. So this is good progress. Broly admits that the fighting stuff is still a bit tricky, but Goku assures him that pretty soon he'll be fighting on a level without snapping into a rage. And the chapter ends with Broly and Goku officially about to kick things up another notch, and Broly says he's ready, son Goku. Alright, this is what I immediately noticed. I don't know if it's because I'm reading the Viz translation, and I don't know if it's because the movie isn't directly corresponding with the manga, but I don't like Broly calling Goku Son Goku. I really enjoyed the end of the movie when Goku told Broly to call him Kakarot. It fit perfectly, especially because this was a callback to the old Broly and how he used to yell Kakarot and really yell that name when he was fighting Goku. I mean, the only other person who calls Goku by his Saiyan name is Vegeta, so I say we up it by 2. Maybe the translation is off, maybe it isn't, I don't know. Those of you who do know, comment down below and let me know what you think. I also noticed one last thing. Broly doesn't have his scar in the last panel. And it's funny because literally the other panel right before this, you see his scar, but the final panel where his face is all zoomed in, nope, no scar. My friend compared this to a buff teenage Goten if he was to train, and now I can't unsee it. It's not a big deal though, mistakes happen, it's just something that I noticed. And I'm sure a lot of you guys noticed it too. But that was the chapter. It was a cool read, but it's something that we already saw in the movie already, so it's kind of a letdown when you think about that. Hopefully in the next chapter we get some extra added scenes like how we had a bee beating Krillin. That's still hilarious to think about. To be continued though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like and sub, all that good stuff if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see you guys on the next one.